All right, we should be good to go now. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me now. Y'all should be able to hear me now. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. Y'all should be able to hear me now. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. All right. All right, we good. My bad about that. I had a setting. I had changed something in the settings and I forgot to change it back. My bad about that. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Loud and clear, cool. All right, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all pulling up. Give me 1 second. All right. What's going on, Raw Truth Media? Make sure y'all subscribe to Raw Truth Media. That's my guy, man. He does SWAC content, NBA content, has a good platform. Make sure y'all subscribe to him. Is anyone fake mad today? Oh no, man. I just been seeing a lot of stuff online and I wanted to talk about it with y'all. So Travis Hunter has been he's on the third team all FCS preseason all American. And a lot of people are mad at that. They saying that he shouldn't be on that list because he hadn't played it down in college yet. And I want to get y'all opinions on that. Do y'all think it's okay for the number one player in the country to be an All-American already? I think it's a no-brainer, but some people have a problem with it. And I just want to know what y'all think about that. What's going on, Coach Simmons? Make sure y'all subscribe to Coach Simmons too. He talk about SWAC content as well. Appreciate y'all. Are there any other freshmen on the list? I doubt it. I could pull up the list right now. I have the list pulled up. Give me 1 second. So from the SWAC, the first team is Isaiah Land, and he's from FAMU. Then you have Jamari Sharee, he's from FAMU as well. So 2 FAMU guys on the first team. That's really good. Fam, you got a lot to talk about now with that. On the second team, you have a tight end, Kamari Everett from Bethune-Cookman, and Jablonski Green, a defensive lineman from South Carolina State. Jordan Lewis from Southern, and Isaiah Bowden from Jackson State. Then on the third team, you got Abdul Fattah Ibrahim from Alabama A&M and Xavier Smith from Florida A&M. Then you have Mark Evans from UAPB and Travis Hunter from Jackson State. Now, what's going on with Nugget? Why are they sleeping on Nugget? I feel like a lot of these sports stats places they're sleeping on Nugget. Nugget's not getting the attention that he deserves, in my opinion. And when it come time for the NFL draft, I think he's going to be one of those players that's going to be in the spotlight. So I'm kind of shocked that he's not on these All-American lists and things like that. Most of JSU backups are better than their starters. Oh, wow. We'll see, man. We only got 4 weeks. We only, 4 weeks away? Man, I can't wait for the season to start. It's going to be a good one. Those are mostly haters, Roger James says. That's why it's called preseason All-American. Right. Bro, any 5-star goes to smaller schools or in LBS school will always get showcased. I don't know why folks are overreacting. If a 5-star QB commits to an FCS school, they'll be at media day and on preseason rank. And yeah, that's the thing I don't get is some people, I heard a lot online about people having a problem about Travis Hunter being at the media day. Why would you be mad at that? Everybody wanted to see Travis Hunter. So it was no brainer that he was going to be at media day. If he wasn't at media day, people were going to be complaining, saying that, Jackson State, how you going to get the number one player in the country and you don't bring him to media day? So I think they did right by bringing him there. Yeah, they're sleeping on Aubrey Miller too. But I think those scouts are looking at Aubrey Miller and Nugget. That's the crazy thing about it. What the scouts see isn't what these stats platforms and all these other platforms out here. They're not looking at the game and the players like these scouts are. These NFL scouts are. So you're gonna see a lot of guys come out of nowhere that's gonna be on the NFL radar. Let the game speak for themselves. Yeah, and then we also had some controversy over the MEAC. A lot of people talked about the screen that the MEAC had for their media day, which I thought was silly. I thought this was a silly argument. A lot of people were going in on the SWAC because their media day didn't look like the MEAC. The MEAC had this fancy digital screen, so a lot of people was going in saying, the SWAC could have did better. And I think, in my opinion, the MEAC media day looked great. Their media day looked great. They had a nice venue. They had a hotel on the water. So it was a very nice venue. Norfolk, the city of Norfolk and Birmingham, I don't think they compare as far as a tourist area. You have a body of water by Norfolk, so it's going to be different than being in Birmingham. So you have that going against you. And then, yeah, they had the digital screen. I didn't think that they would think of something like that. That kind of shocked me too. But the fact that they did that, the SWAC can play on that next year and do the same thing. But I don't think it was a problem. I like the SWAC setup. Could it be better? Yes. But all the talk that was going on, I think it was excessive. What y'all think? That is the way people, that young man is super bad. I saw him get down. Didn't Shadur say don't pay attention to the media hype because they don't make the decisions right? Yeah, I'm gonna open up the phone lines a little later. I'm waiting till a few more people get on in the room. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what we talk about over here. We talk about SWAC content. I'll open up the phone lines soon. Soon we get to like 70 people in here, I'll open up the phone lines. It wouldn't be out of nowhere. We always just have haters. But yeah, so to talk about the media day, I wish we would stop that, because I feel like as HBCUs, we don't have time to be nitpicking about this conference having this and this school having that, because we're all in the same boat. To be honest, we're all trying to elevate our schools. We're all trying to get in a good space. So I don't think we have time to be nitpicking over stuff like that. I wish we could stop that, but for some reason, that's just what we're doing now. It's really not a big of a deal. SEC is supposed to be the best, but I don't remember anything about looks. I was there for the dialogue. Right. That's what it should be about. That's what it should be about. MEAC will be the SWAC soon. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And that's what I was saying to a lot of people on Twitter. I was like, the MEAC need to be focused on keeping their schools. That's what they need to be focused on, keeping their schools, because a digital screen ain't gonna help you keep Howard in the conference, because I think Howard's gonna be gone by this time next year. I think Howard's gonna be in another conference. That's just my personal opinion, but we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna open up the phone lines. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. So that's the number right there, 657-390-4814. Phone lines are open. Y'all can call in, get your thoughts out. If y'all want to talk about anything else regarding the SWAC, we could talk about that as well. I also have Mr. Ford call in a little later. people nitpicking conference media days because they don't have anything to talk about, so they just stirring the pot. What's going on, TDOS? Hopefully they can keep Howard. That's the last thing they need. I don't think they're gonna do it. I'm just being honest. I think once Howard flirted with the CAA, that's all I needed to see. You know, the fact that they was thinking about leaving and they requested it, they probably came back just to save face for like a year, but I think they're gonna be gone eventually. That's just my personal opinion. Now, do I want the MEAC to survive? Yes, I do, because we need the MEAC to survive. But I just don't. I think Howard mindset. I think they're thinking about just going following NCA&T in Hampton. I don't think they're gonna stay in the MEAC. But the phone lines are open 657-390-4814. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. I appreciate y'all pulling up. The MEAC media today didn't really catch any attention. Right. Everybody made sure they watched the SWAC media day though. But a lot of people just talking about, how nice it looked and how they set up. I mean, pretty much trying to say the SWAC didn't do a good job with their setup and, half-assed it pretty much. They don't want to combine conferences with us SWAC Buzz. I know. And that's because of the commissioner. She don't want to do it. She pretty much said no. They're not trying to do it, but we'll see what schools they get. They're gonna have to get some more schools to join their conference. Mr. Ford, if you're listening, you can call in and we can you can call in and you can start talking if you want. Counterproductive for real. Who spend money on visuals? That's a good question. I'm not totally sure if the commissioner has to go out and shop with companies and get this stuff, or was it something that ESPN did? Because if it was something ESPN did, then I have a issue with them. Because how you gonna do something for one conference and then don't do it for the other? But I don't think it was like that. I think the commissioner has to. I think the commissioner has to request whatever they want, or shop around for whatever they want. And hold on, y'all. I got a call coming in. What's going on? Call you live. Hey, Mr. Ford. Let me make sure they can hear you first because I was having some audio issues earlier. So let me make sure they can hear you. Can y'all hear Mr. Ford? Can y'all hear Mr. Ford? All right. Terry Harris said no. Lord. All right, let me fix this. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, Mr. Ford, say something. Same as system. All right, Mr. Ford, say something now. Can y'all hear him now? Hold on, let me wait. Because it's like a latency with the comments. They saying still nothing. Oh, Michael Davis said he can hear. Hold on. Let me check it. Hold on just a second. They said no sound from Mr. Ford. Let me. This StreamYard sometimes it's kind of buggy. I'm gonna have to get another software, honestly, because it's been giving me way too many issues. But hold on just a second. We hear you, but not Mr. Ford. Yeah, they saying they hear you, but not they hear me, but not you. All right, try to say something now, Mr. Ford. Yeah, Michael Davis said they can hear me, but they can't hear you. Yeah, Michael Davis said they can hear me, but they can't hear you. All right, let me give me 1 second. Let me All right, let me give me 1 second. Let me All right, let me give me 1 second. Let me All right, give me 1 second. Let me. All right, give me 1 second. Let me. All right, give me 1 second. Let me. They said no history lesson tonight. Yeah, I'm trying to get you on, Mr. Ford. Hold on. Let me. They said no history lesson tonight. Yeah, I'm trying to get you on, Mr. Ford. Hold on. Let me. So hold on. Let me. Someone said your system volume is low. Someone said your system volume is low. No, that's the playback from my phone because I'm testing it on my phone while I'm on the computer as well. So yeah, you're not coming in for some reason. Let me. What about now? Let's see if they can hear you now. Go ahead. Somebody said they can hear. Said they can hear him barely. Yeah, they said they can hear me, but they can't hear you. All right. So what I do, Mr. Ford, just call my phone and I have you on that way while I fix it. Yeah. All right, y'all, we're gonna fix it. I'm gonna get him on another way, and then I'll fix it on the back end while he's talking. Appreciate y'all pulling in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Yeah, so sometimes, man, Yusuf said the show must go on, right? All right, Miss Ford.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, they can hear you now. They should be able to hear you now.
Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. This is Mr. Ford. Put it in the chat if you can hear me.
Yeah, they can hear you now.
Okay. Listen, I'm gonna take the question, but let me just say this, guys. We lost 2 cultural icons this week. We lost Bill Russell, who I can talk about all day, and then the lady that was near and dear to my heart was Miss Nichols. She was Lieutenant Uru on the Star Trek. When I was a little kid, we used to watch that show every Friday night. She was Lieutenant Uru. But they were 2 cultural icons for me when I was growing up. I really didn't understand because I was small when Bill Russell was playing, but my family loved him. My mother loved him. My uncles talked about him. Now, for us, I didn't see him either, but Jackie Robinson, I heard about him every day. But I didn't see Jackie Robinson. I saw the films later on. But my family always talked about him. And after Jackie Robinson, it was Bill Russell. Okay? That's right. Lieutenant Uru. She was that. Listen, when I was a little boy, the only reason that I watched Star Trek was because of Lieutenant Uru. We loved her. She was really the only major black character on the show. But she died, I think, yesterday. Both of them died yesterday. Bill died yesterday, and Miss Nichols died yesterday. She used to come to Atlanta a lot. We have something called Dragon Con, and Miss Nichols was pushing for black kids to be in what they call the STEM program. She wanted black kids studying math, science, engineering, so they could be astronauts. It was not well publicized, but she did that for many, many years. And Bill Russell, like I said, I can talk about this man all night, man. When I got to Grambling, one of the things I found out about him was, number one, the people in Grambling, and when I was a student at Grambling State, I lived in Ruston. Ruston is the town where you find Louisiana Tech. I lived about 2 blocks from Louisiana Tech. But what I found out about Bill Russell was Bill Russell's family was actually from Monroe, Louisiana. They were run out of Monroe because of the fact his father and his brothers, they were building schools for black children. So they were basically in a war with the Klan. That's how he ended up in the Bay Area. That's how he ended up in San Francisco. And when he was in high school, he played basketball with Frank Robinson, who's one of the greatest baseball players of the 20th century. If you ever go back, Frank Robinson was the first black manager, I think, in Major League Baseball. But anyway, yeah. But listen, guys, I know you got a lot of questions. Just put your questions in, call in or put your questions. Let me just say this about this MEAC thing. Let me make this plain and clear. Yeah, the MEAC had a glitzy media day, but let me tell you something. That don't hide the fact that they have no leadership. Okay? Let's get this understood quickly. All right? That lady right there, Miss Sandra Steele, that's the blind leading the blind. Understand that. That's what it is. You can tell that she is a disciple of Dr. Dennis Thomas because she's a know-nothing, do-nothing. And they're going to keep that same old foolish corruption going. Okay? So, listen. Don't be fooled by the little glitzy. I saw the board. I watched all that too. But that don't mean nothing when you don't have no leadership. That means nothing. And she keeps using this Elite Eight. How they gonna be elite? You got 2 schools in that don't even have football teams. And see, here's the thing. I know y'all say I get on history too much, but here's the thing I don't understand. Maryland Eastern Shore. Years ago, it was called Maryland State. Did you know that they used to compete against Florida A&M? Okay? They used to compete against Southern and all them teams and was really good. You should go back and look at all the players, the NFL players that came out of what we call today Maryland Eastern Shore. That's Art Shale. Okay? That's a guy I love, played for the New York Jets. His name was Johnny Sample. Okay? I mean, they had so many players, but they refused to have a football team, and you calling yourself Division I? Oh, listen, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. But come on, SWAC, give me questions. You got any questions?
Yeah, so I want to know what you think about Travis Hunter. And
listen, Travis Hunter is the #1 player in the class of 22.
Right.
And let me just tell y'all something. That boy gonna show you. Dion told you he is better. Dion said this kid is better than what he was as a freshman. I saw Dion when he was in high school. I saw Dion when he was a freshman at Florida State. My hometown is 50 miles from Florida State's campus, okay? Because, you know, it's Florida State and then it's FAMU. They're really right there in the same neighborhood. Let me tell you something. Deion Sanders, when his senior year in high school, he was drafted by the Kansas City Royals. He played basketball, and he was a quarterback. And he said that Travis is better than what he was. Listen.
Yeah,
man, I'm so happy we got this boy in the SWAC. I don't know what to do. Listen, but let me just tell you about the preseason stuff. What they do is they go by what you did in the previous season. That's all that's about, okay? I'm like you. I think that that boy Nugget, Miller, and a bunch of them kids on there, they gonna show America what they about. Now, here's the thing that was on my mind today. I want Nugget, Shadua, Shiloh, what's that boy's name, Miller? I want them to learn from that quarterback up there with the Cleveland Browns. I don't need you to go up in the league and embarrass us like this boy done embarrassed his family and his mom and all them.
Right.
Okay, Deshaun Watson. See, that's what I want them to do. Learn from the mistakes of Deshaun Watson. Because these kids right now, y'all might can't see it. Them kids on Jackson State team, them boys gonna go pro. See, because I coached high school football. I know what outstanding talent is. You got a bunch of kids on that team right there with outstanding talent. Okay? I ain't got to go all over that. All right? But I'm just telling you now, I hope they learn from Deshaun Watson. Okay? And once again, it is a privilege and a blessing for us to have Travis Hunter in the SWAC. Don't y'all know it's a reason why they burned Deion's jersey on the campus of Florida State? Those people down there knew what they had. They knew.
Yeah.
No, Watson wasn't found guilty. He was, I think he's going to be suspended 6 games because I'm going to be honest with you. I thought after reading that stuff in the New York Times, I thought they were going to suspend him for the whole year.
Yeah, they said the NFL could come back and appeal it and try to add on some more games. But I think they probably just going to let it go because, I mean, you do that, you're just going to drag it out even longer.
Yeah, I hope that, like I said, that these kids, we got a lot of kids in the SWAC right now at all of our institutions that can play NFL football. I want them to learn that you can't go into that league with all that immorality and all that illegal stuff because, baby, the cameras is on you 24 hours a day. There ain't no privacy. Don't even think because you stuck up in some 5-star hotel that they ain't watching you. They watching you. They listen to everything you say on the phone. Don't you know as long as you got cable TV, the government can look in your house?
Right.
Next question. Oh, and by the way, let me address this here. Blue Blood is on here. Let me tell you this here, Blue. I heard, I saw where you said that there's some talk that Jackson State could go to the Sun Belt, and I heard another one them talking here said it was a natural fit. Let me just tell you about that. First of all, the Sun Belt is where the University of Southern Mississippi is. When you put Southern Mississippi up against Jackson State, Southern Mississippi is spending $30 million, Jackson spending $10 million. That means Jackson State is already $20 million behind. What happens when you get into a conference and you're behind? You get into debt. In this economy, what happens when you get into debt? That Jackson State Athletic Department would have to declare bankruptcy. So I hope those people at Jackson State got more sense than that. If they leave or they flee the SWAC, it's gonna be really bad. Because listen, all I keep telling y'all, look at Tennessee State from 1963 to 1983. Then look at Tennessee State from about 1986 when they joined that hillbilly conference up there called the OVC to now. And then you will see that Tennessee State is a shell of itself.
So, I mean, you got to have people that's going to say that Jackson State could get their budget up after they move. So what would you say to those people?
I tell you what, I got to see it. Because I keep telling y'all need to read the economic report on this country. Y'all better read the economic reports now. I keep telling y'all, they saying that, and see what they doing, they being nice to us by saying that we are on the brink of a recession. There ain't gonna be no recession, it's gonna be a depression. There ain't gonna be no recession. It's gonna be a depression, and it's gonna be the worst one America's ever faced. I'm gonna be honest with you now. If Jackson State don't want to end up like Tennessee State, being a shell of itself, stay where you are. Don't jump, don't run, don't. You know what they say about keeping up with the Joneses? When you keep up with the Joneses, you accumulate a lot of debt.
So you don't think Sonya Stills can be a good leader?
Oh man, listen, did you hear what she said? Did you listen to her speech?
Yeah.
She's just like the Republicans. Listen, you know the Republicans, they don't have no new policies. All they do is do culture war. What's that thing they talk about? CRT. That's all they talk about, CRT. But when you say, well, what are you going to do to help the American people? They ain't got nothing to say. Same thing with that woman. She says all these ambiguous things about we're an elite conference. Well, first of all, you ain't no elite conference. And like you said earlier, some of them people in the MEAC going to get sick of that. They're going to leave. But I keep telling y'all, what I want Commissioner McClellan to do is to go ahead on and put a plan in place so that when them schools pull out of the MEAC, that they can come and join the SWAC. Because that lady don't have a clue. Let me just tell you something. She is representative of the person who taught her. That was Dr. Dennis Thomas. He was the worst commissioner of all of the commissioners during the time. He headed up this SWAC. Listen, the SIAC had a better commissioner than Dr. Thomas. The SWAC had a better commissioner. The MEAC had a better commissioner. The CIAA had a better commissioner. That man was just terrible for almost 20 years as the MEAC commissioner. That's why they're on the verge of basically imploding because of him. And let me just say this to y'all. I know y'all don't remember this, but the worst South Carolina state teams that I saw, guess who was the head coach of? Dr. Dennis Thomas in the late 80s. He was the coach at South Carolina State, and he was a disaster. He took over, I think, after we used to call him, his name was Bill Davis. Bill Davis is the guy, he left South Carolina State. He came to Savannah State. He's the one who brought Shannon Sharp to Savannah State. His name was Bill Davis. Now, Bill Davis was an assistant at South Carolina State. He took over after, for coach's name. Coach went out to Wichita State. He was one of the first black coaches at a Division I school. Willie Jeffries. Yeah, Bill Davis took over after Willie Jeffries left. Yeah. Now, come on. You see any questions for me?
Let me just a second. Hold on. Yeah, I said Willis Jeffries. I didn't think BCU should have joined the SWAC. So a lot of people saying they don't like that Bethune-Cookman and FAMU joined the SWAC. What do you think about that?
Listen, let me tell you something, man. They keep on talking about that woman, Miss Steele, stopped the HBCU Super Conference. The SWAC is a super conference. The SWAC is a super conference. The SWAC goes from the state of Texas all the way to Florida. That's a super conference. She ain't stopped nothing. All she let you know that she don't have no ideas. She ain't gonna do nothing, and that's why the MEAC is gonna go off the cliff. She ain't stopped no super conference. The SWAC is a super conference. And let me just tell you, I gave y'all an idea, and a lot of y'all, you just thought it was terrible. I keep telling y'all. Now, I had a FAMU graduate who heard me on your show, and SWAC, he showed it to me. Now, he told me, he said he liked the idea of, now he thought it should be one, like it should be Alcorn and Jackson playing twice, once at Jackson, once at Alcorn, and he showed me how it would look. But he said if that worked out, then we could possibly go to two and probably end with two, but no more than two. And he said that he thought that it was a good idea and showed me how the schedule would look. The first one would be in September, and the last one would be the traditional rivalry game at the end of November. And when he wrote it out for me, he put it on paper for me. It looked good. I keep telling y'all, we gonna have to bring in some NFL principals to really make this SWAC schedule go. Now, the other thing that we got to learn from the NFL is this thing called revenue sharing. You know how all these people in the SWAC always talking about Mississippi Valley ain't got no money, and this school ain't got no money. Listen, if we come up with a revenue sharing plan like the NFL, everybody will have money. Because let me just tell you this, and a lot of people don't know this. Some teams in the NFL, their owners got a lot of money. Some teams in the NFL, they're small market. I can give you a prime example. Pittsburgh Steelers, they're not a big market team. They rely on revenue sharing. Because what they do in Pittsburgh, now they do a great job of scouting their players, but after 6 or 7 years, they let them guys go because they're not going to pay them exorbitant salaries. They're not doing it. And the reason they're able to do that is because the NFL has a great revenue sharing plan. And that's what we got to do in the SWAC. We got to come up with a superior revenue sharing plan.
Let me get my mods get on that bot. I done set this thing to subscribers only, and they still getting in here some kind of way. So one of my mods, can y'all kick the bot out, please? Go ahead, Mr. Ford.
Yeah. Somebody said something about Bethune-Cookman. I had been waiting to watch Reggie Fields. As you know, Reggie is the head basketball coach and he's the AD. Now, for those of you who know about Bethune-Cookman Athletics, Reggie replaced a legendary athletic director down there. That guy was named, was it Thompson? He was the AD. He retired, and then they brought Reggie Fields in. But this guy was also, to be honest with you, this is the guy that the MEAC should have as their commissioner. The guy that just left, what's the name? He retired as the AD at Bethune-Cookman. That's the guy they should have as the commissioner, okay? Because he got ideas, and that's him, Lynn Thompson. I think his name was Lynn Thompson. That's the guy that should be the commissioner in the MEAC right there. But anyway, I've been happy about him moving that game from Daytona to Jacksonville. And I told you, the thing I'm concerned about is why didn't Texas Southern move that game to NRG? If not NRG, if you knew that Jackson State was coming, you know that Jackson State is the hottest program. Jackson State right now receives the same kind of publicity that Alabama gets, that Michigan gets, that Clemson gets. You got that kind of a program coming to play Texas Southern. If you couldn't get NRG, why didn't you go over there and get the University of Houston? Why didn't you get the stadium at Rice University? Why you didn't do that? Why weren't you proactive? And so I want to say kudos to Reggie Fields for doing what he did. I thought it was a great move. I really did. Come on, guys, you got any questions? Put them in the put them in the somebody said Texas Southern already has a 40K seat state. Texas Southern plays at a soccer field.
Yeah.
And it don't hold no 40K.
Right.
They can't even put SWAC on the field. What you Jahar, what are you talking about? I think it holds like 22,000 at the most. Okay, it says, Mr. Ford, what do you think about Tuskegee and Kentucky State join the SWAC? Yeah, I would have no problem with that. Now, I think it would be more of a logistics problem for Kentucky State with their basketball and all of that, trying to go to Howard and Delaware State. Kentucky State would be more of a natural in the SWAC, and Tuskegee would too. Because one of the things I'm saying is that I want Alabama A&M and Alabama State to play Tuskegee annually like they did when I was in school. I don't like this fact that Alabama A&M doesn't play Tuskegee. I don't like the fact that, well, I know that after this past year, they signed a contract with Alabama State. They're going to be the Turkey Day opponent for the next 3 years. Now, that's really good. I like that. But, yeah, those two schools right there. Now, here's the thing with Tuskegee. They would have to update their facilities now. They got to update them facilities, especially that football field. They got to update. And the other thing they got to do, they got to put lights in that stadium. Because ain't nobody want to sit over there in 100-degree heat and play at 12 and 1 o'clock. We need night game. That's one of the things that kind of hurt me, SWAC, about that Bethune-Cookman Jackson State game in Jacksonville. SWAC, they starting at 1 p.m. And, me and my wife, we like night games.
Yeah. It's a lot of the games, they're going to more daytime games now.
I don't like that.
Yeah. I like the night games too.
I like them games under the lights. That's what I grew up with. Okay, they say, Mr. Ford, what's your thought if JSU versus TSU in Frisco? Why are we going to go to Frisco and we got Houston, Texas? I'm going to Frisco for. You in Houston, Texas, the 4th largest city in the United States. Don't you know that every year Houston turns out 500 Division I prospects? Why are we going to Frisco for? We want to be in Houston. We want to be in the NRG Dome.
See, a lot of people, they're scared that those two HBCUs won't fill that stadium. So I think what Coach Prime was saying about Bethune-Cookman, he don't want to be on TV with an empty stadium. That'll hurt the momentum that the SWAC has.
A lot of y'all are underestimating how many people around this country are following Jackson State. I got my roommate when I was at Clark. He's following Jackson State in Chicago. He says that that's all they talking about in Chicago is Jackson State. I'm just telling y'all. I think that y'all underestimating Jackson State's following right now around the country. Now, at one time, before Deion Sanders got there, it was a regional following. It was basically the people in Jackson, the people in Mississippi, people in Louisiana, people in Alabama. Baby, Jackson State ain't like that no more. Listen, I told you, my cousin and them watched that Celebration Bowl in Korea. They watched the game. They stayed up late that night into the morning hours because of Deion Sanders and Jackson State.
Mm.
And after the game, they was asking me, who is this Coach Pugh? They wanted to know more about Buddy Pugh. But they what drew them to the game was Jackson State and Deion Sanders.
Yeah, Buddy Pugh been getting a lot of little publicity lately.
You should see that recruiting class.
Yeah.
You should see the recruiting class he got. Now, it don't rank with Jackson State's recruiting class, but baby, let me tell you something. He brought in some reinforcement. He signed 3 running backs that had several offers from ACC schools. Y'all gonna see him?
Yeah, and Jacoby Durant, they say he's doing good out there at the LA Rams camp too.
I read what Jalen Ramsey said about him, and I read about might have been the head coach, what the head coach said about him.
And James Houston doing good out there in
yes, sir.
in Detroit too.
Doing well. And the boy from Florida A&M is doing well with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, he's
so
doing
HBCU
really well.
players putting on right now. They doing real good.
And let me tell you something, more coming. Now, we had 4 drafted. We're going to have more than that in the next draft. It's going to be more than that. That's what I'm saying. You got Shedeur Sanders, who I think eventually either he will go for the Heisman or he will go for one of the top awards in FCS. Why you going to bring him to that little high school stadium in Daytona and instead of bringing this kid to TIAA? Remember I told you, Eddie Robinson took Doug Williams to Japan twice. The first time, he played Morgan State over there. The second time, he played Temple over there. They went to Japan because Doug was the hottest thing in black college football. He was showcasing him to the world. And you don't want to go to Jacksonville?
We'll see. I mean, I think it's going to be a good turnout.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a good turnout.
I keep telling y'all underestimating the people who are following Jackson all across this country. It's not just a SWAC thing. It's not just a Southern thing. I got friends in New York. You can talk to them, but they following Jackson State in New York.
Yeah, I know they had an HBCU game in New York long time ago.
They messed it up. Listen, and they got one this year. They messed it up. You brought Howard, and then Howard pumped out and brought Morehouse up there. No good and well, they're going to beat Morehouse to death. Howard University could have brought Jackson up there. You could have brought Grambling up there. You could have brought Florida A&M up there. You could have brought Southern up there. You could have brought any of them SWAC teams, but you picked out Morehouse so that you could beat them up. And let me tell you, that game is nationally televised. That game is going to be at the stadium where the New York Giants and the New York Jets play, and it's going to be nationally televised. And then you pick Morehouse, a Division II school now. Somebody don't give a damn about no football. This is who you want to play.
I wonder how the following is in New York now for HBCUs. Because it seems like...
Listen, they're going to be there. I mean, they're going to be there. I mean, it's a lot of black. Listen, when you go to places like New York, especially Washington, D.C., man, there's so many black college graduates, HBCU graduates up in them areas. I mean, I went up to Washington, D.C. I was shocked. Like I said, now I'm talking this about Morehouse. Listen, Morehouse had an event in D.C. Man, it was thousands of people there.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of them people was Morehouse graduates.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of HBCU graduates in the D.C.
all
area.
Up and down that Eastern. When you talk about Philly, New York, Washington, D.C., man, it's all kind of HBCU graduates up in there.
They could have picked Bama State.
Yeah, they could have picked anybody but Morehouse. Why wouldn't you make it a game? I don't know if Howard did it, but that wasn't good. I mean, listen, you're gonna blame Morehouse up there. You're gonna beat them by 30, 40 points. Who want to see that? You want to see a good game.
So AP says, Mr. Ford, any idea why Jackson State versus Tennessee State isn't going to be on ESPN? Is it going to be on any major network?
I think it's going to be on a major network, but now it might be what they call a repeat. Like, it won't be done live, but it'll repeat it that night or during the week. Now, that guy, it's 2 people that have been blocking major, they don't want national television. The guy that's the promoter at that State Farm game out there in Dallas when Prairie View plays Grambling, that guy has fought to keep that game from being nationally televised. The other one is that game up in Memphis. That guy up there, he doesn't want that game nationally televised.
I wouldn't be shocked if the NFL Network tried to get the game on there. Because,
I wouldn't be shocked either.
Eddie George and Deion Sanders, I think they'll probably try to do that.
And let me tell you this, I went back and did that research I had told you about. I'm kind of startled. I don't understand it. Listen, all of the Big Ten teams, I don't know if I should say all of them, but a lot of them do not want FBS, especially Power 5 schools, playing FCS school. But the one that really shocked me was Georgia State. Now, Georgia State's program is very young. When they originally started playing football, they were FCS. And most people don't know this. There are 2 black colleges that defeated Georgia State in football. One was South Carolina State. The other one was Tennessee State. But do you know that Georgia State they're in the Sun Belt. They don't want FBS schools playing FCS schools. They don't want it. And I'm surprised because they started off as FCS. Let me tell you the other one that started me, and I don't understand this, was Notre Dame. Now, is Notre Dame playing Tennessee State next year? When is that game?
Oh, that's this year.
But listen,
Yep.
they on the list. They are saying that they don't want FBS schools or Power 5 schools playing FCS schools. That's what that was a surprise to me, because you playing Tennessee State, but you're saying you don't want to play FCS schools?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was kind of surprising.
That's crazy to me. That money has to trickle down, so I don't understand why they would be against it.
And if it doesn't, I told you, you're going to see some FCS conferences fold. Because a lot of them FCS schools, they live off of them 2 or 3 games that they play against the FBS. But there is and I'm telling you, it's really strong in that Big Ten. They do not want Power 5 schools playing what they call them cupcake schools, or what we would call mid-major schools. They don't want it to happen. They do not want it to happen.
Now, I think if they form their own, if they form their own league, like a lot of people are speculating they're trying to do, then they can make those rules up and just play each other. But I'm hoping they don't do that. But you know, money rules everything when it comes to them. When it comes to those conferences, so
yeah, now,
we'll have to see.
Let me just tell you this: what is happening? When people keep talking about alignment and this whole thing. See, it's not about the colleges right now. The colleges, the Power 5, the Big Ten is controlled by Fox. The SEC and the ACC is controlled by ESPN and Disney, or what we would call ABC. And those two right now, Fox and ESPN or Disney, they're fighting it out. It's kind of like back when I was growing up, all of our AFL games, they would be on NBC. NFL games, they would be on CBS. Well, that's what's happening in college football right now. Those networks, they're flexing their muscle, but in the meantime, they're destroying a lot of good rivalries too. Because I know you heard the governor of California has called in UCLA, and they got to explain to him why they leaving the Pac-12 to go to the Big Ten.
They already know why, because of the money.
Because of the money.
Yeah.
Because of the money.
They already know.
That's right. You know, they said when I was growing up, money talking, bullshit. You know what the other part is.
Just CJ says SWAC gets buzz for 1 year and everyone is ready to jump ship and sell out. What you got to say about that?
That's about right. That's about right. But see, let me just tell you that the reason y'all ready to jump ship and sell out is because y'all don't know what's coming down the road. Y'all don't know what's coming down the road. See, if we stay together, if the SWAC stays together right now, okay, we can make a lot of money. But see, y'all talking about Jackson State go to the Sun Belt, and then 2 or 3 of them other schools, they go to the Southland Conference. Baby, you're going to get 8 of them. I'm trying to tell y'all, that's what happened to Tennessee State. They made mistake after mistake. That's why their program is a shell of itself. That's what it is. It's a shell. And I know you got Eddie George up there. Baby, listen, when I was in college, and when I was a boy growing up, Tennessee State would have their whole defense would get drafted. I can remember the defense that had Too Tall Jones, Wayman Bryant, what's that boy's name? Cleveland, he went to the Bears. Wayman Bryant went to the Dallas Cowboys. Clifford Brooks went to the Eagles. The whole defense that Too Tall Jones was on went pro. I think he was the #1 draft choice. So this little stuff y'all seeing at Tennessee State now, I'm trying to tell y'all they a shell of themselves because in the 80s they made one bad move after the other. And the same thing will happen to Jackson State if they don't do what's right.
Gabriel says, but how can the SWAC make a lot of money?
You push the games that you got. Listen, Grambling Jackson, a lot of money. Grambling Southern, a lot of money. Now, if it was up to me, like I told you before, SWAC, I know y'all don't like this. Jackson and Southern, for me, they play twice. They play one time wherever Jackson want to play it, and play it another time wherever Southern want to play it. I done told y'all, I'd adopted it. We ain't got to recreate the wheel. The wheel already created. I told y'all what we got to do is incorporate some of them NFL ways that they do things. Scheduling, one. Number two, revenue sharing. You do revenue sharing right, you ain't got to run around no more talking about Mississippi Valley ain't got no money. I done told y'all, when in the NFL, the Pittsburgh Steelers ain't got no money compared to the New York Giants, but they got revenue sharing.
Someone said Jerry will have it at Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
which one they want in Dallas?
I guess he's saying Southern versus Jackson State.
Oh yeah, that was big now.
I won't say they'll fill it up, but they'll have a nice crowd at that stadium.
That would be a nice crowd. See, now you have to understand now, for Jackson and Southern, when a lot of their students graduate, and this ain't just started, this been generational. A lot of Jackson State's graduates, they go to Houston and they go to Dallas. Same thing with Southern. Southern is really strong in Houston. Mm-hmm. Don't let nobody fool you. I found that out one time. I went to a game out there. Southern is real strong in Houston.
They strong in DC.
Go to Dallas, that wouldn't be no bad move.
They strong in DC. I've seen a lot of Southern alumni in the DMV area.
Oh yeah. Now you know me and you done talked about this. I would like for Jackson to play one game in Chicago. With all them Jackson State graduates up there, I would love for them to play at Soldiers Field. Take somebody up to Soldiers Field. But you know what? I wish Jackson would take North Carolina A&T and drub them up there in Soldiers Field. I'm going to the CAA. Take North Carolina A&T up there in Jackson State, drub them at Soldiers Field in front of about 40,000 to 50,000. Because like I said, it's a lot of Jackson State graduates up there in Chicago.
Right. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's try to get up. We got 230 some people in here. Let's try to at least get to 150 tonight.
Right. DJ 85, that's right. Jackson State versus A&T in Chicago would be the fire. You're right. Yeah.
KB said, "Go to bed, Mr. Ford." 85% of Jackson State football roster is new since March spring game. Y'all in for a treat.
What did you say now?
Now he was talking about Jackson State football team is new.
Hey, that's a good one right there. They said K. Lofton said JSU and A&T and Charlotte. Hey, let me tell you what's going to be a big one. A&T's got North Carolina Central in Charlotte in September, Labor Day weekend. That should be a big game. And it's a night game, and they got national television. That should be a big game. That's going to be A&T and the Eagles, North Carolina Central Eagles, at the stadium there in Charlotte, where the Carolina Panthers play. That's going to be really big. Yeah. Okay. So, Branford says, Mr. Ford, what do you think about the MEAC and the SWAC merge? Listen, what that Miss Sandra still said, them MEAC teams is going to lead that conference because they ain't doing nothing. Like you said, all they want is a shiny board and all that. But as far as they ain't got no ideas, no vision. You know what the scriptures say? Where there is no vision, the people perish. They ain't got no vision, and Miss Steele and them ain't got no vision. So if them schools like Norfolk and South Carolina State and all them want to join the SWAC, listen, we can do it. And see, then we can have them true divisions I was telling y'all about. What we do is we would be in divisions of either 3 or 4. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I want Dr. McClellan and them working on.
You know what I think what it is? With some of us, we have so much pride that, to me, that's what it comes off like. She's too prideful to merge with the SWAC.
Well, the SWAC, she might be prideful, but the other thing is obvious, she don't know nothing. That lady is just like Dr. Thomas. Let me say it again. They are know nothing, do nothing people. The reason that the MEAC is messed up today is because they was under the leadership of Dr. Dennis Thomas for almost 20 years. It was know nothing, do nothing, corrupt leadership. That's what it was. That's what it was. And see, we can have, there you go, Lando 7448. You can make the pod system. You had talked about that, SWAC. That's right. See, you'd have three schools in the pod. But if you was in the pod, now, go back to what I said now, Jackson would play Alcorn and Mississippi Valley twice during the year. And the guy was showing it to me. He said, what you would do, you would play one game in September, but you would play the traditional rivalry later on in the season. Like, you know how Alcorn and Jackson play at the end of the season. But see, you can also have Alcorn and Jackson to play in September.
Right.
That's NFL.
Somebody said, they're talking about the 65 players. So that's only going to Miami.
Yeah.
So they're not going to take the whole team to Miami. So that's probably what you're talking about.
They're only taking 65.
Yeah.
There's a little, what you call it, what's the name of the show where they had Dion telling the guys, you got to play because I'm only taking 65. Yeah, you take 65. Now, usually you can dress about 80 or 90 players at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I got people calling, but so y'all, I'm having some difficulty with the call-in since of the night. So we're not gonna have the calls tonight. I'm gonna come back and do another show later on in the week.
Tell me to put the questions in the chat.
Yeah.
And we'll discuss them in the chat.
Yeah, I do another show probably Wednesday to make up so y'all can call in and talk on the show.
Yeah. And that right there is the premier as far as showing and getting people interested in the program. Nobody right now probably can beat that pregame show. That pregame show, they own it.
I wish we had that guy from Alabama, the news station, to call in because he probably know what's going on in the Alabama A&M program. Because somebody just asked who the quarterback is.
Have you heard about who will be Alabama A&M? They said it's the kid from Jackson. Now, I heard Cornell Maynard say he don't have a problem playing two quarterbacks. But what I'm hearing in the streets from the people up here, that kid in the Quincy Casey, what's his name?
Yeah, Quincy Casey.
They said he gonna start. Okay, somebody asked about the quarterback room at BCU. I heard they got 2 or 3 good ones. Now, one's supposed to be a true freshman. He out of North Carolina. They got that kid from Jackson State. Was it Jalen Jones? But they got another kid from North Carolina. I think he's coming from East Carolina. Now, this is one thing I do know. They brought a guy in as their offensive coordinator from North Texas. At one time, he was the interim head coach at North Texas. Now, for what I've been told, he's pretty good.
B. Fred said the JSU enrollment go up. Yeah, enrollment has went up across all the schools in the SWAC, really.
Yeah, but now all of them having the same problem. All of them got that housing issue.
Yeah.
And the other thing is the financial aid office. They say all of them got financial aid issues, and all of them got housing issues. Sam got them, Jackson got them, all of them, especially the ones in them cities. They got the housing issue.
Right.
Now it was really bad up here last year for Clark, from my school. Clark. The kids came in that school, the dorms weren't even ready. Now, we got to do better than that. We can't do that now.
So, Mr. Ford, what coaches do you think are on the hot seat this season?
Oh, that boy Jackson, I keep telling y'all, he done did all he can do. He's at Bethune-Cookman. What they need to do is get a short list of 5 right now. Terry Sims got to go. He got to go. He done had long enough. I think he done did 6, 7, 8 years. It's time for him to go. That boy not that boy, but the coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff, if he don't do something this year, if he don't at least have a winning season, he out. Let me see who else. Now, let me just tell you this. See, we putting a lot of emphasis on these head coaches, but really, these coordinators, see, now, here's the thing. Alabama State can be really good if this Harry Williams does his job. See, I got to watch him. I got to see what this boy, this offense coordinator at Alabama State going to bring to the table. Okay?
Somebody said, what about?
I told y'all 100 times. That boy down there at Southern, that coach at Dooley gonna score 40, 50 points every day. But see, the thing with Southern is, if that Henry Miller don't do his job as defense coordinator and does not produce a championship defense, they ain't gonna do what they supposed to do. But if Henry Miller produces a championship defense, listen, I'm telling y'all, Southern gonna be in the race, baby. They take everything.
Someone said, what about Texas Southern coach?
There's another one. Listen, and that's another thing about publicity. They ain't telling y'all. That little guy down there that's the offensive coordinator at Texas Southern is outstanding. I think his name is Doug Martin. But see, the question mark at Texas Southern is the defensive coordinator. What is he going to do? Can he produce a championship defense?
Yeah, they offense nice.
Good. We know Andrew Body got that Michael Vick stuff in him.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, it's about the defense. If that man who is the defensive coordinator does an outstanding job at Texas Southern, y'all better watch Texas Southern. Because I'm telling y'all, that guy there's key, that Harry Williams at Alabama State, that Henry Miller at Southern, if them people right there don't do their job, they just going to be a lot of potential. That's all they're going to be, a lot of potential. But they ain't going to get no wins. Because, Dooley done did this before now. He did it at Prairie View, scoring 40 and 50 points and then still lose. You got to have a defense. See, them offenses, they're going to bring them big crowds. They're going to bring all that publicity. But see, that defense, they're going to bring them trophies. They're going to bring them championships. I'm telling you now.
Yeah. I think Andrew Body, he's going to be one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the conference this year.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's good.
Listen, I'm telling you, I wish y'all would watch his offensive coordinator. That guy's good. That Doug Marsh, that guy's good, man. I'm telling you.
Fam, you got a new coordinator, too.
Oh, he's good, too.
Yeah.
He has a lot of SEC seasoning. He was with Willie down at Prairie View. Coach Henry, Joseph Henry. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Like I told you, man, that first game is going to be a war, man. When they touch down there in Miami, when them schools touch down there, baby, it's going to be all business. Oh, baby, let me tell you something. Jackson State got something that Fam wants, and that is Jackson State is the champions. Fam want to be the champions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I keep telling y'all, that man down there, his name was Alonzo J. Gaither. Gaither built a monster down there. And the way that he would feed that monster is he would bring championships to Florida A&M's campus. That's what they want down there. Right. They want championships at Florida A&M. And right now, the team that's in the way of Florida A&M is Jackson State. That's why that thing going to be a Super Bowl down there. That's going to be a Super Bowl down there.
So let's say, for instance, FAMU beats Jackson State. What do you think the fallout would be? Will people still view Jackson State as, a good team, or will they?
Yeah, without a doubt. Because let me tell you something. If FAMU beat Jackson State, they still got to play Southern.
Oh no.
They got to play Southern. They still got to play Grambling.
I think that would be damaging for them, because you got everybody just touting them as, one of the best teams in the country in the FCS. So if they lose that game, they're gonna get clowned for one. They're gonna get clowned like crazy.
But, listen, let me tell you about being clowned.
Yeah.
The people who clown you are usually the people who never do nothing. That's why I was telling you. I wish we could get you on 2 times a week. Because let me tell you something. I look at them other folks' content. One of them shows done turned into a Wendy Williams. All they doing is gossiping and stupidity and crazy stuff. And they come on every day. So that's why I try to encourage you to do, if you could do 2 days, if you could do maybe a Sunday show and then you could do a show during the middle of the week. Because I'm telling you, one of them shows, it's like a Wendy Williams show. They hit it Wendy Williams of the SWAC.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I can't even tell you, it's a mess.
But I think if Jackson State lost that game, I think it would derail their season. If they lost that game, I don't know. I think it'll take the win out of them, because a team like Jackson State, they're a confident team. So I think if they lost that game, they will know they're not going to get to the Celebration Bowl probably. So
here's the thing. if FAMU wins that game, FAMU still got some tough games to play.
Yeah.
Not on that east side, but on that west side. I just told you. Listen, FAM, say hypothetically, FAM beat Jackson State. FAM still got to deal with Cornell Maynard. FAM still got to deal with Southern University with Dooley. FAM still got to go down there in the hole at Grambling. FAM still got to play Alabama State. FAM still got to deal with Bethune-Cookman. Now, just because you lose a game, you ain't out of it.
Yeah.
No, baby. See, that's what people going to realize about this SWAC. I'm just telling you now, right now, to be honest with you, it's only 2 teams in the SWAC that people got question marks about. And I just told you who that was. One is Bethune-Cookman with that coach they got down there, because a lot of folks ready for him to go. And this boy, but this coach at Arkansas Pine Bluff, if he don't come up with a winning season this year, they want him gone. Because, see, the SWAC is hot. You could bring Ray Lewis down to Bethune-Cookman. Don't you know one of them major athletes would come and take Pine Bluff? Pine Bluff got money. They got SWAC money. They ain't broke. Listen, the SWAC, like I always say, the SWAC right now is 38 hot. It's 38 hot, baby. It's a lot of... Listen, I wish you go back and read that article about Emmitt Smith. Emmitt said that Deion making him want to coach. Jerry Rice said the same thing.
Oh, yeah. I know T.O. said something about that, too.
Yeah, and that other guy did, too, the one that was the Cincinnati Bengal. What's his name? He's from Miami.
Chad Johnson.
Chad Johnson, yeah. He said he would like to be a coach. So now, listen now. Hey, them guys can't do the job. That boy can't do the job. If Bethune-Cookman, they can't do it at Arkansas Pine Bluff. We got some more folks can take their place. We got some people can take their place now.
But you're gonna have a lot of purists say, "Oh, we don't need that. These guys don't have the experience, and you're getting rid of coaches with experience to get celebrities in to be a big name and get attention to your school." You're gonna have a lot of people frown upon that.
Deion, and he done took over HBCU football. That's the same thing they said about Deion. Even though he had coached his sons and all that when they were growing up, a lot of folks, what they go and get Deion Sanders for? He ain't did. Look what he done did. Look at this, what has happened to HBCU football since since Deion Sanders has come to Jackson, Mississippi. I told you, listen, here's the 2 things I want y'all to remember. Before Deion Sanders landed in Jackson, Mississippi, everybody was talking about North Carolina A&T in the MEAC, and everybody was talking about Alcorn in the SWAC. Okay, when Deion landed, when Coach Prime landed in Jackson, Mississippi, ain't nobody thinking about no North Carolina A&T, and ain't nobody thinking about Alcorn right now. It's all about what? Jackson State and Deion Sanders.
Right.
So, all I'm saying is this. If them guys can't get the job done at them schools, bring in somebody else. Let me tell you something.
Let me say this real quick, Mr. Ford.
Okay.
Make sure y'all like the channel, subscribe to the channel if y'all not subscribed yet. We at 123 likes. Let's try to get to 150 before we end the show tonight. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Go ahead, Mr. Ford.
Yeah. Listen, you know what? I think a lot of people underestimated that guy at Alabama State now. He might get his behind whoop this year, but he gonna be all right.
Yeah, he got some good players, man. He got some good players.
He sure do. But like I keep telling people about Alabama State is a sleeping giant.
I like him too. He has a good personality.
Yeah, he got personality, but he represented when he was in the NFL. He represented the SWAC with a lot of class. You talking about a guy? I think he was 3-time academic All-American. He was 3. The only thing I keep telling everybody about Alabama State, they got to have with. That's why I'm going. My sister want me to come to Charlotte for the A&T Central game. I want to see this guy Harry Williams, because I'm telling y'all now, Harry Williams gonna be the difference between 8, 9, or 10 game winning season.
Right.
I got to see what he gonna do, because everybody out on there, they keep telling me, well, he was all right. But won't nobody go out on a limb and tell me, he gonna do great. So a lot of these coordinators is gonna be the difference in whether a team is all right, mediocre, or a champion. And I done told you, with Andrew Body now, we know what Andrew Body gonna do. We know what Texas Southern offense gonna do. It's about that defense. coordinator. Can you produce a championship defense? Can Henry Miller produce a championship defense at Southern? You got all the players. You seen the roster Southern got?
DJ 85 said Scooter Bowl in Miami this year. Oh man, the 10-year goal is to get every high school black academic student and every high school sports athlete to enroll in SWAC or MEAC.
That's it, baby.
Yeah, that's what we need. We need our kids to come back.
I just read an article today. I was telling you, they saying that all the black schools right now, they got to upgrade their housing. They got to do a better job in the financial aid office. It's some things. What is happening is so many kids interested in these HBCUs. I think one of them had, I don't know if it was FAM or Howard, somebody had 24,000 applicants.
Oh yeah, I think that was FAMU.
I think it was FAM too.
What I would like to see HBCUs do, in addition to housing, they need to build those parking garages.
Yeah.
If they can invest in that, because parking is a big issue for a lot of campuses too.
Yeah. Okay, now this person said, Mr. Ford, do you think Coach Pugh would be willing to join the SWAC? Listen now remember, guys, Coach Pugh is put in a lot of years. I don't know how much longer he wants to coach. Now now a lot of people don't forget it. When he came into the league, he came into the MEAC in the early 90s, I think it was. The early 2000s. He took over black college football. But the guy who broke, it was two guys broke his stranglehold. One was named Rod Broadway. He was at North Carolina A&T. And it was a young guy who T.C. Taylor worked with. His name was Jerry Mack. Jerry is now the running back coach at University of Tennessee. But Jerry was the head coach at North Carolina Central. They are the ones who broke Pugh's hold on the MEAC and on black college football. But then he's come back. That shows you how great this guy. He done come back. But as far as he gonna do, see, that's his alma mater. South Carolina State is his alma mater. He gonna do whatever it takes to make South Carolina State great.
So Morpheus said Coach Pugh was about to retire before he won the Celebration Bowl. Have you heard that?
Listen, I know for a fact that he's been at South Carolina State over 20 years, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been there a while.
He's been the head coach over 20 years. He's the winningest coach in South Carolina State history.
Right.
Yeah, he's been, okay, somebody said he's been at South Carolina State for 21 years. That's right. And let me tell you something, the average coach now, they stay about 3-4 years. And if they ain't rolling, the alumni ready for them to move on. That stuff what Eddie Robinson did, I think Coach Robinson was at Grambling like 50-some years. That ain't never happening again. Big John Mary was at Tennessee State, 20 years. Then W.C. Gordon, how many years he was at Jackson? Wasn't he there 15 years? How many years he was there?
Yeah, they said
he was head coach how many years?
Said W.C. Gordon?
Yeah.
I know it was over a decade, so.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody doing that no more. The alumni ain't gonna like. Because these people now, see, with this thing, with this Dion thing, see, these people now, they would let you do 3 to 4 years. They put you on the clock the third year. These people now, And see, with that Celebration Bowl, you got that, okay, you're going to get at least $1 million from the SWAC championship game. You get to the SWAC championship, especially if you host it, you're going to get $1 million from that.
Right.
You get over here to Atlanta, and then ESPN going to give you another $1 million? Oh, listen, them guys got to win, man. Yeah, that's right, Ham Smith, you're right. Listen, Ham Smith came to Albany State. I think I was in the 5th or 6th grade. And he was still coaching after I was a grown man and working. He was still coaching.
You know what? Trey Mack said something I want to talk about. He said, "Are YouTubers media?" And
they media. In this generation,
yeah. I mean, it's a different form of media. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some kind of journalist because I have a lot of respect for journalists. They do a lot, because you have to have sources, and they're constantly making phone calls trying to get the story. They're focused on the story. And that's a hard job to do. So I have a lot of respect for them. So I'm not going to sit here and act like, journalism is the same thing as doing YouTube. But I will say this, that there's a lot that go into YouTube when you're editing, you're having to run the show, you're having to run calls, and you can have audio issues and all this stuff. You're pretty much the editor, the producer, and everything all in one when you're doing YouTube. A lot of people that do journalism don't want to fool with that stuff. So that's why they mostly write.
You are a journalist. But listen, there are a lot of people who wait on you. The best guy at that SWAC Media Day, he was a journalist, but that guy was a YouTuber. That's Roland Martin. Roland Martin, to me, was the star of this SWAC Media Day this year.
Yeah.
As far as what he was doing, that guy was on, man. Now, Tiffany is a star, but like I said earlier, I thought that Jay wouldn't allow her to ask the heart-wrenching questions, being silly and with the buffoonery and stuff.
Yeah.
But I watched 3 hours of Roland Martin from the SWAC Media Day. Let me tell you something, man. That dude is awesome, man. He's a journalist and he's media. And he's a YouTuber.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching Roland Martin when he was on TV One. And he went out on a limb and went out and did his own thing, and you see how successful he is now.
Yeah. Listen, this YouTube is serious now. That social media stuff, now a lot of it I don't like, but listen, not only is it journalism, but off that social media, you can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of money. Yeah, you can make a lot of money.
Mr. Ford, you got any? Go ahead.
Okay, Coach Ford, what are your thoughts on what Coach Sanders said at SWAC Media Day when he said the SWAC and the MEAC needs to be married now? Oh, yeah. But the only thing is, right here, the SWAC is already a super conference. The SWAC is already super. What he's trying to do is he's trying to extend a life jacket to some people that's getting ready to drown. That's what he's trying to do. Okay? He's trying to help save the MEAC. But like I told you,
they don't want to be saved, Mr. Ford.
They don't want to be saved. But let me tell you something. Some of them schools is going to get tired of that foolishness. They're going to come our way.
Yeah.
They're going to come our way.
And I think that probably would be South Carolina State.
I could see
and North Carolina Central.
Like I said, put them in the pods. Put them in the pods. I still say we can start off with the rivalries playing twice, and if that's really, really successful, let's go to 2 of them teams playing twice. Because it would be natural for Jackson State. You would have a Jackson State home and home against Alcorn. Jackson State home and home either against Mississippi Valley or Jackson State home and home against Southern. Do you know the amount of money that would be made for them schools? So now, like you had said once before, you can't take up all the games. Give me 4 games. Now, the guy from FAM said start off with 1. Do the one where FAMU would play Bethune-Cookman twice, and then if that really works out good, then you go to 2 teams that you would play twice. But first, start out with 1.
So I want to tackle this, what DJ85 said. He said that the question when Coach Prime asked what is tradition, that was an ignorant question. Do you feel like that? I don't feel like that.
No, what he was frustrated about is this whole thing of incompetence within the financial structure.
Yeah.
He explained it later on. What he was mad about is that those players were given their monies late. And a lot of them were coming to him with that, and he was very upset about it, which I would be too. But I went to a black school, and I know how that works. You know what I mean? Because I was on financial aid myself.
Long financial aid line.
Yeah, you know, I remember my financial aid. I mean, you know, the financial aid would come, and then they would pay off the school. It would pay off my tuition and room and board. Then it would be money left over for me. And they would get their part, and then they'd wait 3, 4, maybe a month before they gave me my part. I knew that. I understand. That's what he's talking about, the tradition. Are you talking about that tradition? Yeah, that's what he was upset about. But let's see now. You know, I got to stop here. Blue Blood said, we were told not to ask about his injury. They released a statement saying it was nothing major and that it was only a statement they would give. I guess is he talking about
Travis Hunter?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about he was wearing that boot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see that. Listen, man, y'all felt that Travis Hunter gonna show his behind this year. He gonna show his behind. Yeah, I went back and looked at all his stuff. I saw his state championship game. He was up here at a high school in Atlanta, where it's in Atlanta area called Collins Hill. He was the truth. Then I saw him in a Polynesian Bowl, and then I saw him in a
I watched that too.
Man, listen, that boy's the truth, man. I'm so glad. Listen, for about, I think since the 80s or maybe Steve McNair, we ain't been able to get no athlete like no Travis Hunter. He gonna show his behind.
I wish we could get another top 5 player to come, man, and really blow this thing up.
Listen, not only is Jackson gonna get one, Southern gonna get one, Grambling gonna get one, and FAMU gonna get one. You see, all them schools right there gonna get them a 5-star.
Yeah, I definitely think FAMU can get one.
Yeah, Southern gonna get one. Grambling gonna get one. They gonna get a 5-star. That's why I was telling you, even if Jackson lose and say FAMU win that game, baby, FAM still got to go fight Southern. They got to go play Grambling down there in that hole. They got to deal with Cornell Maynard. Cornell Maynard gonna bring that fight down to Bragg Stadium. Oh, that's gonna be a war down there. I think that's in September. Cause see, they will have played. Wait a minute, let's get it right. Alabama A&M will have played UAB, Division I, FBS. Then they got to play Troy State, FBS, Austin P, FCS, and then they got to go to Tallahassee.
EA says so that means that he won't be ready for FAMU game. No, they say he'll be ready for the FAMU game.
Yeah, I think he'll be ready too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna be all right. Listen,
I just like his person.
A boy like Travis Hunter, even if he hurt, he know how big that is. Travis Hunter from Florida. Don't you know he want to show out on them? He's originally from Florida. They moved him up here to Atlanta.
Oh,
he know what that is. He know what FAMU all about.
Travis
He's the kind of boy, if he break his arm, he's still gonna play.
I want to see if he have 2 interceptions and 2 touchdowns in that first game, he's gonna blow the internet up.
Oh,
Listen,
SWAC, he gonna do that. That boy's a player, man. That boy's a player, man.
The Blue Bloods said he will be fully healthy by week 1.
Play him on offense and on defense, and he gonna show his behind. Cause let me tell you one thing about that darn on Jackson State. That darn on receiver room is deep, baby. You can take them third stringers at Jackson State, baby, and you can play with them. They got receivers. Woo! They got some receivers, man. They got some receivers at Jackson. Anybody now? Malachi Blue? I know you know. Is Malachi Wildman gonna be all right? Put it in the chat right there. Is he gonna be all right? Or is he still having grade problems? Or what's going on now? What's going on with Malachi Wildman?
Carlos said, I think the LSU and Southern is going to be interesting by the half.
Let me tell you something. If Southern play LSU a half, the SWAC is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The SWAC is in trouble.
If they make that game competitive, that would be huge for the conference.
That's why I keep telling them about Alabama A&M. If Alabama A&M can hang with UAB for a half, baby, listen, Cornell Maynard's back, baby.
Yeah.
If they can just hang a half, because listen, it's 65 scholarship versus 85 scholarship. Okay? And if he can hang with UAB for a half, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied.
Right.
Because I know what that means. Because I'll never forget the year that Kincaid boy, he was at Grambling. They went up there and they gave the University of Arizona hell. And we saw it. And I told everybody, I said, listen, y'all, did y'all see what he did? I knew they were going to run through the SWAC. Because to be honest with you, they would have won that game. Kincaid got hurt. And I knew right then, I said, boy, look here. Now, they done went up there because that game was in Tucson. They went to Tucson and did the University of Arizona like that. I knew what that meant.
Right.
I knew what that meant.
Well, Ms. Ford, you gonna close us out tonight?
Yeah, listen, guys. We ain't got to listen to all that talking no more, baby, because it's here now. I thank God. Now, I know FAMU is in camp, and Willie Simmons made a statement last week. He said that the FAMU team that he has now has more talent than the team he had last year. Now, that's saying a lot, because I thought that team the FAMU had last year was all right, too. Okay? So, everybody, if they're not in camp now, by next week, by the 8th, I think it's the 8th, everybody should be in camp. It's time to go. We don't have to just make up all this food. Yeah, I saw that foolishness down there in Florida A&M about the lady taking the nude picture. I thought it was awful. It was a desecration. let me just say this about one of the problems.
I didn't think you seen that, Mr. Ford.
Yeah, I saw it. It was on YouTube.
Mr. Ford be having his ears to the street.
Yeah.
Go.
Let me tell you this. See, we got a problem right now. We don't have respect, and we don't hold nothing sacred no more. When you talk about that Florida A&M campus, that campus has empowered us. It has educated us. It has done so much for her to desecrate that campus by showing her behind. That was awful. That was uncalled for. We don't need that.
Yeah.
That's not intelligent.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, and let me just say this, guys. One of the greatest things we have in America that belong to us are our black colleges. At one time, the only thing we owned in Black America were our churches, okay? And so now we have our colleges. And so we don't want to desecrate that. We don't want to do that kind of stuff. And so that was wrong. So I just want to say that. But like I said, if you get a chance, guys, read about Bill Russell. Read about Miss Nichols. Because one of the things Miss Nichols did for like 30 or 40 years after her career with Star Trek was over, she went around the country pushing for black children to become astronauts. She wanted black children to be taught the sciences, mathematics, and engineering. So we lost two major cultural icons yesterday. And so, SWAC, when you coming back on again?
I'm gonna do a show Wednesday or Thursday because I didn't have the call system working tonight, so I want to I'm gonna do a makeup show so people can call in.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna do one either Wednesday or Thursday. I'll put out a post to let y'all know when I'm gonna do another show. But I definitely want to make this one up because I know we had some audio issues tonight.
Oh yeah, and we got 195, and you talking about whether or not you're a journalist? You got 196 people on here, and you didn't even let them call in? Yeah. You are a journalist.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so listen, y'all have a great night.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ford.
Okay.
All right. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. How many likes we got tonight? Did we at least get to 150? Let's see. Let's see what we got. We got the 147. Come on now, y'all. But yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. Like I said, we had audio issues for the call-in system, and I have that fixed Wednesday. So we'll do a makeup show Wednesday or Thursday. I'll put out a post early so y'all will know. And we'll do a makeup show, and then we'll go live Sunday like I always do. And then during the season, I'll be going live a lot more frequently and dropping a lot more videos. It'll be a lot more things happening during the season, so it'll be a lot more content to talk about. But yeah, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. I'm gone.